I'd like to dialogue with you a little bit about the idea of being one's authentic self. And my question is being my authentic self, is that being as my inner being is, or as my inner being was, or as I was before I grew up with my childhood and my traits and habits that I've collected along the way? Is it trying to get back to something, or is it a matter of saying, with all my flaws, here I am and I accept that?
Well, it's some of all of that, but it's more. What it is, you see, it's not about getting back to something, and it's not about starting where you were as you were non-physical energy coming into this physical body. Your authentic self is the all that you have become, which includes your inner being, and it includes everything that you've been living and all that you've put into the vortex. But it's not just the vortex you get, the vibrational reality. It's not just the vibrational reality or the vortex version of you. It's the you, the authentic self, the authentic you is the you who is now up to speed with all of that. You were source energy before you came into this body, and we get why that would seem like the authentic self, but that was the beginning of what you now know as the authentic self. And so there's that energy stream. And then here is you in your personality. You are also a part of that authentic self. You're on the leading edge. You're having experiences. You're having new experiences. You're asking new questions. You're having new beginnings. You're launching rockets of desire that you're not up to speed with yet because they are so new, but your inner being is immediately up to speed. And you might even say, then that must be my authentic self. I launched rockets. My inner being embraced them and became them and holds the spotlight on them. And the law of attraction responds to that and brings the cooperative components to that. But even that isn't your authentic self, because it's not really yourself until you join that. Your authentic self is the manifester of all that you, important you, in this physical personality is bringing forth. So this is as authentic as it gets, a moment like this, you see. Now, in fairness, to get back to some of what you were understanding, when you are ornery, you are not your authentic self. When you are on the lower half of the emotional scale, can you put the emotional scale on the screen for a moment? When you are on the lower half of the scale, which we're talking about, there it is, 7 down. If you're bored or pessimistic or frustrated or overwhelmed or discouraged, that's not your authentic self. That's you on your way to your authentic self, but that's you depriving yourself of the authenticity of all that you have become. Because life has caused you to become more, and now you got to keep up with the more that you've asked for in order to be your authentic self. Thank you for that. So.
Okay, so it's not, I wonder what's the boundary sometimes of wanting to kind of improve aspects of my life or of myself, and
well, there's no boundary. It's boundaryless. It really is.
Yeah.
There's no ending to your becoming.
I want it to become from a place of joyously wanting to do that rather than doing it from some feeling of lack or of insufficiency of some kind.
Well, we want that for you too, and that's up to you.
Yeah.
You can tell by the way you feel where you're coming from. So you focus upon something, you think a thought, maybe you're remembering something, maybe you're observing something, maybe you're fantasizing or anticipating, but you're focused upon something. And when you do, every moment of your attention has a relationship with the moment of attention that your inner being is having. Same moment, same point of attention. So you can feel the vibrational harmonics. You can feel how well calibrated you are or how not well calibrated you are to allowing yourself to really be that wholeness. And so, of course, you want to do your best to focus, to find ways to trend in the direction of things that feel good. But you're new in every moment. It works like this. So here you are in your physical body, knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want, launching rockets of desire continuously all day, every single day, becoming more every single day. And so the authentic self keeps up with the more that you are becoming. But that's easier said than done, because sometimes a whole new insight about what you want is launched and calibrated and coordinated and cooperative components are gathered, and you're just not up to speed with that. That's got to be all right with you. And when that's all right with you, now here, we've not said this before, and it is so important. When you have become more vibrationally, and you're ornery, you're on the lower half of the scale, you're worried about something or afraid of something or angry about something, your inner being is still focusing upon you in your wholeness and calling you as one of the cooperative components to the wholeness of who you are. But here's the new piece that we want to give you. We want you to be all right with where you are, even if where you are is on the lower half of the scale. Because, do you know, it's the not being all right with where you are that slows down this calibration, that causes more distress than almost anything. And so you're going to keep evolving. You're going to continue to become. And you're not, as long as you're here in this physical body, going to be up to speed some of the time. A lot of the time, in fact, the more you're reaching, the more you're living, the more you're asking, the more you're out there, the more you're contemplating, the more you're communicating with one another, the more you're living life, the more you are aware of life, then the more rockets of desire that you're going to be launching. And so we want so much for all of you to be all right with your evolution. And if you are going to be all right with your evolution, then you have to be all right with the platform from which your evolution is being launched. And if you're not all right with the platform from which your evolution is being launched, then you'll never be up to speed with the evolution that your life has produced for you, and you'll be not quite that whole self, that authentic self that life has caused you to become. Now, that's what we call a leading edge question.
Thank you.
Something more?
Can I ask a quick one, another one? Thank you so much. I have a gorgeous little nephew. He's about to turn 3. He lives on the other side of the world. He became an orphan a few months ago. I wonder how I can support him moving forward. He's so joyous, not knowing what's really happened in his life. And I want to know, how can I encourage that from afar? Is it just picturing him as I wish him to be, or as I see him in his joy?
So you're asking a really important question. You're saying, Abraham, should I see him as his authentic self, or should I see him as his broken, orphaned self?
Okay. Thank you. Perfect. That's it. Thank you so much, Master. Thank you for everything. Thank you.